Hello everyone, welcome back. So in our Appium series, today we are going to see how we can perform an Appium gesture that is a long press event. So far we have seen how to scroll on a particular application, right? Whether it is scrolling to a particular element or arbitrarily you want to scroll to navigate to a particular element or towards the bottom of the screen, whichever the possible scrolling operations. Now there is another like the gesture that is your long press event. It is most popularly used these days. Either you can long press on any item to get the overflow menu options, like you can copy paste or you can download, rename, all those options you can get it. It's more into an some extra options so that you don't really need to go to the overflow menu and then you can click it. So it is pretty much the same way for Android and iOS as well. And then there are particular operations where on long press only you can perform certain things. For an instance, I have this Android. Whenever you have an Android simulator, right, there is a phone app default that comes with your simulator. So let's try to see that where exactly we can implement the long press event. Like if you go to this dial pad, right, and you can just print whatever you want. Okay, there is nothing new in this. But then let's say that you want to first type a plus, actually, because a lot of different international numbers that has to start with +1 or +91 or +65, like that it starts with, right? Now if you see, there is a plus here, but this plus is not a dedicated dial pad. Actually, if you long press this, right, then you can see it is coming the plus. The same thing, like I'm just keep on typing something, let's say that, and I realize that this is a wrong number. Okay, like this 6 is wrong, so I'll just click one backspace and then it just deleted one digit. Let's say I want to delete everything, so I can do a long press here and you can see that the entire digits whatever you have entered, that got deleted, like that. Or if you go to an iOS screen, if you go to the contacts application, right, or the address application, there all of your contacts, if you long press it, it gives you a couple of more options. Okay, where you can share, you can rename, you can do whatever you want there. So those kind of things also you can use there. Okay, so like these operations you can do with a long press gesture, and this is very essential to test whether that particular gesture is working fine or not. Now we will be pretty much utilizing the same concept how we have used the scroll operation, because if you see in the scroll, right, if you go to this swipe gesture or like this method which we have implemented by using the pointer input sequence, and then we are keep on adding to this sequence actually couple of actions, like you can do a left finger press and then you can move from one location to another location, right, from start location to end location. That's how you are swiping yourself. Now the same concepts, and this is pretty much the Appium's W3 actions. Okay, like if you see in Selenium or in Appium, they are now jumping from JSON wire protocol to your W3C standards, right? So that's where we are learning all these things. You don't really want to do the classic operation of a touch actions, dot long press or long tap. Now every Appium gesture that you want to do, if you want to do a W3 action standard, you have to use these classes. That's why we are learning all these things. The the Android and iOS do have their own dedicated mobile scroll, mobile swipe operations. We will see that in our future topics. Okay, now we have extensively discussed about these operations, right? What exactly each method is doing, how you can really implement an operation of touch with a finger with a particular location, and then you need to move that mouse button, that is a left click actually, or left touch, and then you need to move this pointer to a different location. Now in our this case, right, we don't want to really go into any other location. It is the same location only. It means that now these three will hold as it is only. There is no difference, these two actions, because you need to first create a finger touch. After that you need to pointer move. It means that you have to take that pointer to your screen, actually to this viewport, Where exactly? On a particular element, that is nothing but on an element's x and y coordinate. So we'll find it out that, and then we will be doing a left click, because once you take your mouse right to that particular element, then you need to do a left click. We are simulating our gestures. Then you need to move. Basically, you don't want to move, actually you want to just hold it for some time. It means that when you want to take this down and move in the sense, you need to press it for some duration, but at what location? At the same location, the same elements, x and y coordinate. You don't want to really take your finger to somewhere else, and then you want to up your finger, and then you want to collate all these actions, and then you need to perform that, how in the touch actions we used to do that. So let's try to implement that. Okay, the same actions here. So at this moment, if you see that the this is the start point and this is the end point, right? In our long press event, this both what you call point start and point end is the same element only. That is what we are going to do. Okay, fine then. So for this, I will be creating an util method. I don't want to really take individual classes or @test method and implement this long press event. I want to take a generic the long press event, and then I will be calling that whether it is Android, iOS, any other applications with respect to the Android and iOS. Okay, fine then. So now what I'm going to do, I will be taking this contact application. Let's say, as I told, you need to click on this dial pad, and then you need to click setting things, and then you will do all those operations. Okay, so we want to see this Android this dial application or the phone application. Now for this, first thing I will be taking this is a scroll, right? So I will be creating a new package, and let's say that I'm just giving this long pressing or some name I'm giving here. Okay, and under this package I will be creating a new better option. Let's just create this one. So new Java class, and I will say long press underscore Android. Okay, and then under this I need to specify the application, this particular application's app package, app activity, and all those things. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'll take this static void main only for now. Okay, now I need to specify the options, UI Automator 2 options. If you would have seen my previous session topics, right, I need to actually call this Android launch app which accepts these options, right, this UI Automator 2 options. So for that, first I need to create the UI Automator 2 options. You can see that if you come back, did I do that? Let's see that. Yes, yep. So I'll do one thing, I'll take these options here. Okay, and basically I can take like this also, new options, and then I will be taking like this. Okay, so here emulator 554, this is my default simulator which opened. The platform name is 12.0, and for this particular application, right, this contact or the phone application, this is the app package and app activity. I'm not going to discuss actually how to find it. We have discussed this a lot of times about this, so no need to worry about that. Now I will be calling this app factory class dot, I will say Android launch app, and this accepts the UI Automator 2 options which I just created above actually here. So actually I need to create this one actually. So I'll do one thing, I'll just go back to my previous one which I created. So options, so it means that your app is launched. Now the second thing is that whenever you are launching this application, what happens? Your driver is already set into the app driver, right? Now it means that I can call this app driver dot get driver to get the driver object. So it means that my app is now launched and the driver is set. Now the next thing is that I need to set up how to perform the long press event. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, I will go to the util class, and as I told, I will be taking the same concept of this swipe gesture, and instead of swipe I will be taking long press. Long press on what? On a particular point, right? Instead of that I will be accepting a web element here. Okay, that's it. Here you don't really need to do anything because I don't want to really move anywhere else. Any element that you just provide into this particular method as parameter, on that we need to do that. So at this moment what we are going to do, I need to get the x and y axis of that, right? We have already discussed how to do that. So for this I will be taking the point class and I will say location, okay, equal to, I will say el dot get location. Now what exactly this get location returns? If you see that it returns your point. Now this point will have your x and y coordinate. So it means that this is nothing but your start and the start and end actually, that point actually. Now here in this case I will be just taking this location. Location means where exactly you want to take long press or you want to perform that operation actually. Okay, and for this I will be taking this one actually, like duration. I think we have this duration here, right? Okay, we haven't created, no worries. Here I will be taking duration dot of seconds. Normally what happens, let me just go here and I will tell you what exactly the parameter or how much second I need to give here as a duration. I'll let you know. So first let's understand this. So I need to perform one touch action, that is nothing but a finger touch. After that I need to take the object of the sequence class on which I will be adding the actions. So here duration of 0 because at the first moment I don't want to really do any kind of wait actually. I will be taking the pointer input dot origin viewport on that particular location only, on that particular element, and this is really not required. Let me delete this. And here swipe dot add action. Now here pointer move. Move means I need to do a long press on the same location. See, I am doing on the same location only, so that's why I am giving the same. There is no start and end point here. So normally what happens for any kind of touch, right? Like if you go here into this, you can see you need to keep pressing this one. So there is a concept that it can be configurable. The developer of this application can configure that this long action, this long press, after how much of long press, this is treated as a long press event or a gesture. Sometimes it is treated as 500 millisecond, sometimes it is 1 second. This is depending on the developer how much they put while developing. At this moment I am taking the 1 second long press is your actually the gesture duration, okay, so that your app will treat as it is a long press, not just a touch actually there. On the same, that's why I'm taking 1000 milliseconds. But if you know of, or if you have already got this information from your developers, that would be fine, but it's okay, you can play with this after seeing that. And after that I'm taking the left. Everything remains same, there is no other things you need to change. The only thing is that you need to specify the duration and the same location only. That's it, then it will perform the long press event. Okay, so now I will be calling this particular long press from any of my files into this particular project. So now here what I'm going to do, I'm launching. Now let's see what is the state of this application. First I launched this application with this particular code, right? After that I will be clicking on this dial button. Then I need to long press on this 0. It means that I need to identify this one. Once it is coming, I need to long press this, couple of digits I need to enter. Then I need to click on this 1 to delete 1, and I will be long pressing on this backspace to delete everything from this result panel or the display panel. Now let's do one thing. Let me first do an inspect on this particular application. So let's open the Appium inspector quickly. And by the time it is opening, let me run the Appium server also. So now my Appium inspector is also ready here, or it launched. After that I need to go to this Android phone app. I'll show you the the package, app package and app activity. I have already specified that. I will simply say that start session, and then it should mock that screen into my Appium inspector. Okay, as you can see, it is popping up. Let's first inspect this one, and if you see that this is keypad, the particular accessibility ID, it means that I'll quickly say that get driver dot find element Appium by, this is Appium by dot accessibility ID. Now the next thing what I'm going to do, I need to see that 0 actually here, this 0 event. So let me just go to the Appium inspector, and once I will be clicking this one, this screen is coming. Let's refresh this screen, and let's go for this 0 actually here. So there is actually a problem, you cannot really identify this one. You have to click on each one of this and you need to verify that. So as you can see, this section is particularly representing this entire dial pad. So you just come back here and then you can find it out, all these options you can see here, expand it, and you can see this 0, right? So let's expand it, and you can see this is actually my 0, and you can see 0 and any number that you want to do here, right? And let's just click on this, and you can see to dial 8 you need to go for this one actually here. These are all accessibility IDs. So let me quickly write actually these events actually to kind of what you call do some key presses. So let's add them quickly. So web element 0, I don't want to really click it. I want to just identify that, and the accessibility ID is number 0. The same thing, I will write couple of what you call keypad digits to click it actually. So here what I'm going to do, I'll take this one, and this is 8TUV, right? So here I'll take this one, I'll type something so that I can print something. Okay, so this is my 0 and then 8. So here what I'm going to do, first thing is that I need to long press this 0, right? So I will simply call this util.long press. You know what, I made it as protected static, no need actually, you can just make it as public so that you can call in any of your what you call methods or files. So util.long press, and here you need to send that 0. Okay, and then what it will do, it will long press on that. But if I just do 0 click, then it will just click on that 0. The same thing, if I'm clicking on this 8, this will come. So now let's do couple of integers to run it actually here, and then I will just go for 0 click. Like this I will be doing. See, normally what happens, there is a peculiar behavior you might have observed. You can see I'll put everything, okay, some name, and then if I'm long pressing, you can see this plus is coming at any side. But normally the concept is that in reality your plus should be first, then some digits here. You can simply press like this, and then what we are going to do, this backspace also we want to identify, because once backspace, one number deletes, long press of this backspace will delete the entire display. That is what also we are going to do. So for this, let's inspect this backspace also. So I think that identification is gone. Let me find it out where this is really present. This is my backspace. So for backspace, the backspace is the accessibility ID. I'll do one thing. So I'll do a web element, okay, web element, and I will say that backspace equal to, okay, and here I'll just copy this one, paste it here, instead of 0 this is backspace. Now here what is that it is coming, so I can do here a backspace dot click, and then I will do a long press actually, util dot long press backspace. See, this is the beauty of that, you don't really need to worry about this long press details which we added into this, right? And I will give couple of thread dot waits so that you can see what exactly this is happening here. Okay, so let's see what really happens. My Appium server is already running. Now let's run this code. and it should now long press the 0. Oh, you know what? Let's do one thing. Let me control C to stop this. I'll tell you why I stopped this one. There is a problem into this util. You can see here duration of seconds. I put 1000 seconds. That is why it is it opened this one, it went to this, and it is keep on pressing this one only. So I need to change that to 1 second, because if it is millisecond, then I need to put 1000. That is what the difference it is making. Okay, I should be good. Now I'm running the Appium server. So now I'm running the Appium server. My app is ready, and then let's now run this particular test. Okay, it should, and you can see plus, then it will type couple of key press events, one backspace. You can see only one digit entered, and then now with long press it deleted everything from that digit panel. And I don't know why it didn't close that application. Let's see that. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's put it as quit. Actually, it's not that, so I will just quit it, and then it should work actually. So there is only the problem with this only, but you would have seen the long press event of 0, which caused the plus sign to enter there, and then after that it long press the backspace, which deleted the entire digit. Now that is the way you can do the long press events. So the basic concept is that on any particular element you are doing a long press. Now this is basically a long press of different operations, right? In iOS, if you see the contact application, let me quickly open the iOS and show you what other things we can do with long press as well. Okay, now if you see this particular, this is an iOS simulator, right? In this contacts application is a default one. You don't really need to install it. So here if you see that on any kind of contact entry, if you do a long press, you can see there are copy, share, make this my card, delete contact, all these options are coming. So this is what I was talking as the overflow menu when you long press on any particular item. Actually, it's called as a context menu in terms of your web applications, right? So this is pretty much the same behavior even in Android as well. Sometimes there is a long left swipe actually you can do to get into this, or even you can go into this and long press this also. So stay tuned. In our upcoming sessions we'll see how we can really long press on any of these items, and then we will perform one of these operations to see whether it works fine or not. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. Hope this session is helpful. Do subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't. Thank you for watching.